Good afternoon, happy stampers. My name is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and welcome to my HapBEE Stamping Studio, where every stamp tells a story and every project brings joy. I'd like to welcome all of you, my live viewing, as well as those watching on replay. Say hello as you come in and let me know where you're coming from, and let me know if you've scrapbooked. We're going to do something a little bit different today. And I am going to be going over one of the new scrapbook kits in our September through December catalog. Several of you have asked me about these workshop kits and if I could do a live. I am definitely going to do one-page layout. I'll see how much time is going, and if it's too long, we'll stop and I will just do the second off camera and post it up on here on Facebook and on my blog. So we're going to be using the Peaceful Days scrapbook kit today, and this is a workshop kit, and as you see, it shows you the layouts. It'll tell you project one, what kind of pictures that you need in total. In the kit, you will receive, you will receive some photo placements if you don't have photos ready. And then as you go through, it shows you the designer series paper that you need when you cut your orientation, so that it's going to say this should be the front and this should be the back. That way when you cut it, it will be the right orientation for the layouts. And then you go through, you can either cut, and what I do, I'll show you, is I mark them. So I go through all the different pattern papers and mark that. Then they're going to tell you to prepare and how to assemble. Okay, we are doing number 3. I'm going to go through the designer series paper. You do get two-sided designer series paper in here, and this is beautiful paper. I just love the blues in here. That one again, here's a floral on that side, and stars, and the berries and the leaves, and like a plaid. This is a exclusive piece of designer series paper that you only get in the workshop kit, so don't look for it anywhere else. You can purchase the designer series paper, but you won't get this in there. And then we have 2 pieces of black, and it's not two-sided, it's black on one side and white on the other. And then you're going to get some sheets of die cuts that you're going to punch out. And you're going to see that I already punched mine out. But if you flip them over, it tells you what project it goes with. So I went through and I hopefully got everything for project number 3. So we're going to look here, and I'm just going to double check everything. Yep. So you get 2 pieces of die cuts, and then you get a sheet of self-sticking repositionable die cuts. So these don't need adhesive attached to them. And then this is the cardboard that protects it. Now, like I said, I have already punched out the dies that I need for my paper. These are my photo mats, and I mark on the back. This is a 3M and this is a 3N. So I can go through, and I know that those were 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So 3 by 4 picture will fit on that one. And then a 4 by 6 should go on this one. And I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait for the instructions on that one. So I'll take those photo mats and I'll place them to the side right now. Then I stack all my papers together, and I'll mark them. So like this one is 3J, and I mark them on the back on white. This is 3B, and so forth. So I've marked all these already, and I actually started putting the first one together by mistake. So it tells you to use the 2 crumb cake 2-tone paper, and we have a dark side and a light side, and it says to use the light side. So it tells you first to adhere these 2 strips on here. Now, I'm a visual person, so I'll look here rather than necessarily follow the directions. Adhere 3A and 3B, which I did, and then prepared 3E, then adhere the journaling pre-cut piece as shown. So that is, this is 3D and 3E. So I will attach this to this, and I, like what I said, I am a visual person, so I will put it on visually. Just going to put this on. It overhangs a little bit. It looks like it's even top to bottom. I'm going to go ahead and take my stamp and seal, and I'm going to attach this. And in the instructions, it shows me that the blue piece is approximately 2 3/8 inches down and 2 7/8 inches in. So if I take my ruler, I usually don't do a ruler. I just kind of hold it here to 2 7/8 for the blue, or if I could go by the crumb cake, and the crumb cake says that it is 2.5 inches. So I could go 2.5 inches and move it over, and I know that's right. And then it's telling me my crumb cake is 3 inches from the top. So I'm going to hold this, and I have adhesive on the back. I go 3 inches, and look at it, it was just about perfect just by eyeballing it. And then I'm just going to put this down, just like that. Okay, so next it says to put my journaling piece on. So my journaling piece is this piece right here. So go ahead and take adhesive and put it here with a border. And then there's going to be a spot for a picture here. So I don't have a lot of adhesive underneath here because it says that I'm going to be placing some more pieces behind it. So then it shows that we have this small piece right here. Looks like it is a dovetail. So this I'm going to need to make a tail on it. So we're just going to put this tail in. And like this. So we have our little tail, and that looks like it's going to go right about here. I wouldn't adhere all this down until you have it all placed, is my recommendation. Here, showing here this half circle and this tag here, and then 3C and 3H. So these pieces here are the ones that you could emboss if you wanted. I didn't emboss it. So this one is saying that 3C is this one here. So that's the one I'm going to have to tuck under up here. So it comes across. So we're going to go ahead and we're using the dark side for this. I will even play around with these and maybe perhaps not adhere them down and move them to how I like them. There's nothing saying that you have to do it exactly the way they say. We're going to go ahead and put this on here, and you're going to see that it's got some overlap there, but we're going to be covering that up. So we're going to take this die here, and this is one of those self-sticking, repositionable die cuts, and see how we covered up that tail there? So I'm just looking at the photo, you guys. That's the way I do things. We're going to go ahead and do it. So I am going to take this and put this to cover that up right there. Okay, so that's going to cover that like that. So I'm just going to take my adhesive and put that on. Some of you have asked me what I like about the workshop kits the best. What I love about the kits is I can do my scrapbook pages, and then when I have my pictures, I just put my pictures on, and voila, they're done. Okay, so now I'm going to look here, and this small star-like thing goes right there. And I am going to use my glue. Now you could follow the instructions if you want. I have always scrapbooked the clap and drop method. And what I mean by that is making my pages and then finding pictures later that go with it. Okay, it shows these two here. And it shows a picture here. So I'm going to show you a little trick. I will take Stampin' Dimensionals and adhere these on, but for this piece here, what I'll do is I will just put adhesive down here. Okay, you don't want to put adhesive towards the top yet because you want to be able to slide a picture in there. They actually have it over a little bit. I don't want it to go on my picture as much. This one, I'm using my dimensionals. I want to pop this up. I want a little bit of dimension, and a little trick when you're scrapbooking, you want to make sure you put enough dimensionals, because when you close your book, pretty soon your elements that you raise up, if you don't put enough dimensionals on, get wavy. So don't be skimpy on the dimensionals in your scrapbooking. So tell me, have any of you guys used our scrapbook kits yet? And what did you like or not like about it? I don't need, this one goes down here, right here. And since I popped this up, I'm going to pop this up too. But this one is just going to have to be popped up on the left side because this is already popped up and that's going to hold it up. So I'm just going to pop it up on the left side and the bottom. And that's going to, well, not even on the bottom. I don't think I'm going to need it. I'm going to place this right here where this all meets. And then I can just take my liquid glue and dab it under. Just like that. I'm going to hold it there. Now we have this die. And this goes down here, best day ever. Just stick that on there. And that overlaps a little bit. I want it to stick out here. Okay, then it shows, oops, that this dove is flying here. And once again, it overlaps a little bit, so you can decide how you want it. I'm going to put dimensionals on this also. I'm probably going to run out of dimensionals because my sheet's almost empty. And I'm going to put it on the swing also. I'm not going to put it here so that I can go ahead and journal. And believe it or not, this page is almost done, you guys. So in 15 minutes, I described to you the kit and how it works and did my first page. Okay, first page done. So what will go here is we will have a 4x6 picture here. Oops, see, my dimensional. There we go. 4x6 photo here. And it looks like a 3x3 photo down here. I'll lower that up just a little bit. Get that even. There we go. Oops. And a 3x3 photo will go there. I'm not going to adhere those right now, but that's page number 1. How many of you want me to do page number 2? Isn't that gorgeous? I can use this, actually, I feel that this is just a good winter scene. If we go to see the lights at the Arboretum, this would be a good page for that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do page number 2. You guys are all voting for page number 2. So I'm going to flip this over and see what we have for here. So we're going to adhere our 2 strips along the side like we did on the first one. I'm going to go ahead and take my liquid glue and just run it down. These would make great gifts, you guys. The holidays are coming up. Think about what the people you love to do. Do they like to camp? Do they like to hike? Do they love to go to the city for the holidays? Do they love going to the beach? We've got so many scrapbook kits that are great for any of that. Do you have children that love to be getting together with their friends and having a good time? We have one that has drinks and stuff, and it doesn't have to be alcoholic drinks, but I just envision putting some photos of my kids and their friends on that. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I'm just going to place this on here. We've got this, and we've got this that goes this way, this that goes that way. We've got some self-adhering die cuts. We've got some trees. We've got this big piece right here. This is flagged at the top and the bottom. So how I do that is I hold this up on my glass mat or onto your graph paper, and it's 4 1/4, so at 2 1/8 inches. I hold this here, 2 1/8. I'm going to clip it up. I'm going to turn it around at 2 1/8. Slide my scissors underneath there. 2 1/8. Clip it up. Now I am going to take my scissors and trim them off. Now you could also do another little trick. I could take my stylus and a ruler, and I can go from that point to this point down here and draw a line. I can do the same thing on this side. I don't want to do it on my cardstock, on my paper there, and do the same thing there. Then I'm going to do the same thing at the other end. Kind of hard to find that line here. There we go. Go up to there, pull it down, go from here down to that corner with my stylus. Now, I've made a crease, so all I have to do is take my paper and fold it back. You take your paper, fold it back, take your bone folder, and make a tight crease. Do the same thing on this side. Find that crease line, go ahead and go down to the corner. Okay, there you go. It adds a little bit of dimension to that piece there. Okay, let's get this folding on that crease line. Crease it. Same thing over here. And just fold it right down. And there we go. Now all we have to do is put some adhesive on here. And go ahead and use my stamp and seal until it runs out. So yeah, how many of you did the scrapbook workshop? I'm out of stamp and seal. Let me know. I have for years run a year in a day scrapbook event, and it was basically just like the event that Stampin' Up did. And gonna see, this kind of goes in the middle, so I'm just gonna kind of look at my paper, find the 6 inches. Nope. So it is 10 inches between the two, so 5 inches. And just look here. When it looks straight, go ahead and place that down and rub that. And so I have done that event for years, and people have loved it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this on, and these are our photo oh, I forgot, I ran out. I have to put this on because it'll drive me crazy. Just do my refill real quick, just pop the cartridge in. There you go. And we'd spend a whole day scrapbooking layouts that I designed for throughout the year. Okay, we're going to put this on here. It looks straight. Doesn't look even. Trying to figure out if it's supposed to be even or not on each side. Like I said, I look at pictures. Okay, this is going to go down here, and I'm not putting the adhesive too far on the outside because we've got some other things to do here. So this is going to protrude. Nope, it's lined up because we've got a die that goes on there. This one is going to go landscape. Because, you know, we do pictures, landscape, and portrait. So it's good to have pieces that go in both directions. Okay, so I'm looking at the picture here, and it's showing me that I need this die cut up here, and we will fill the date in later, but they have the date. We're going to go in a little bit because our photo will be in a little bit. Okay, then we have this half circle here. So this is going to go right here between these two. And then we've got a tree that goes there. And it looks like it's a short tree, but I'm going to use a long tree. Let me see what I've got here. Yep, I'm going to use a long tree for there. And now I'm going to show you a little trick. See how this goes over the photo? So when I put this on, this is going to go over these two photos. I don't want that to stick down. So I'm going to take the sheet from my Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to put it halfway. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this so that I can lift that up later and pull it out when I put my photos on here. So I'm going to put this one right here. Just like that. And then we have this little star. Oh, I do have some large dimensionals here. So we're going to put one dimensional, or you can put a bunch of baby ones on there if you want. And that goes between the two, and it does overlap the tree a little bit. So we're just going to go ahead and put it right there. Okay, now we've got these pieces here, and those are some more self-sticking die cuts. This is a journaling piece. So we're going to go ahead and put that up here. Once again, they do give you measurements on this. I don't fret about that. What I'm looking at is, pick this up, that my piece is straight. I worry more about that than I do anything else. And if it's not perfectly straight, it's crooked like I am. Okay, then we have a tall tree. And before we stick this down too much, I need to stick this tree partway underneath there. I'll lift that up a little bit, but once again, it overlaps over here. So I'm taking that sheet from the dimensionals. I'm going to put it here, trim off another piece. Now you could cut it from the die cut piece, the sheet. So I don't throw these sheets away because that's what I use these for later. For these pieces that are going to go underneath or over pictures. Okay, this one's going to go here, just like that. This would be a fun layout if you go and visit Santa or with the kids, or go and look at Christmas trees. Or how many of you drive around? Let me know. How many of you drive around and look at Christmas lights during the holidays? We do, and my grandchildren love it. Okay, we need another little tree right here. So once again, remember I told you I didn't put adhesive too close to the edges here, because it just seems like they always have you tucking things behind those photo mats. Sorry. Okay. Now, am I missing anything else? Yes. I have this piece here that I need to tuck under, and it goes over here. So, put some adhesive on this. We're almost done with the second page, you guys. Can you believe that? How many of you would scrapbook this fast? I know I wouldn't. The designing alone takes me a while. Okay, this is going to slide under. So I'm going to have to pick this up. We're actually going to slide it under the photo. I'm not sliding it underneath that. I can adapt it. So this is just giving it a little bit more texture here. Tone on tone. What I'm going to do is, this is actually supposed to tuck underneath this flap. That's what I get for not reading directions. So I am just going to cut that piece off. Easy peasy. And nobody's going to know the difference except for you and me. And you guys won't tell my secret, right? Okay, so we have a 3x4 picture that's going to go here. We have a 3x4 picture that's going to go here. And we have a 4x6 picture that is going to slide in there. Now see how that just slides in there so you can adhere it? Just like that. and then your page is done. So we've done a 2-page layout in less than 30 minutes. Okay, so that's your second page, and here's your first page. I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know, and if you have any scrapbooking questions or stamping questions, you're always welcome to ask. So until we meet again, everybody, happy